Cassidy, it's so good to see you. I'm not. You're muted though, and now I still can't hear you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Now
There it is.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I don't know how long I can stay. I'm actually not feeling that well, but I saw Jeff and Luke and, you guys were in there, and so I thought I'd stop by and say hi.
You're a legend. In case the new people who haven't seen the waves, this poor girl like came into the community as whatever, and then did a little channel and ended up Orthodox, married in a different country.
That about sums it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Cassidy isn't as visible because you're busy and you don't do stuff all the time. But even behind the scenes and festivals and all the Europe stuff, you're kind of Mount Rushmore too. I was
Speaking of festivals, didn't you just have one? Or
No,
having one now?
One coming up in June in London. So
why don't you give her the full screen to talk about that a second, Luke?
That's true. We could do that.
Okay, well, I'm terrible at self-promotion, so
you're promoting the event. The event.
I am promoting the event. So yeah, we have an event June 19th through the 21st in London, England. We're partnering with an estuary community we're trying to start up in London. Because Teo has done a lot of work in the UK all over the place, but he moved out of London, and so the regular estuaries weren't going as often because he just didn't have the time to be there to help them go. So I've working with a couple people in the local group to kind of get it going. Elliot, Brendan, they've been on Paul's channel before, and then some other people who are sort of doing other things in the space. And so we're really excited. So yeah, it's Paul, Nathan Jacobs, and Jared Smith from Atheist Church Audit. Those are sort of our main features, but we're also having, little guest appearances from Joseph Foley, Elizabeth Oldfield, Glenn Scribner. I'm currently in talks with Justin Brierley. He may now be available to help out. Possibly, it's not confirmed, but I just got an email, so we'll see how that goes. So
you have so many big hitters. I imagine he's going to try to make it happen. So number one, it's legit impressive that you pulled all this off. Because I know, because I've been talking to you from like the early phases, and I didn't know you were going to have all these people. And then also my wife was wondering why London.
Yeah, well, okay. I didn't know it was going to be like this either. Honestly, I originally had a festival for 2024 with Nathan, Joe, and Jelle Hausman, who's sort of a Dutch theologian. And we just realized, I was, I was 4 months out of giving birth to my daughter, and we were just realizing all the work that it was going to take to try to pull off. Maybe we could make it work, maybe we wouldn't. So we just canceled it and instead did these exchanges. And so, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but I had these contracts. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to figure something out. Matthias and David both sort of stepped away from the Breakwater planning at this time because of personal stuff. And I totally respected that. But it's sort of like, I don't know what's possible anymore. So I want to try to do one more and then kind of see how it goes. And you know what? If we're going out, I want to go out with a bang. So I knew Joseph Foley probably wasn't going to be available for the whole weekend. So I started thinking, okay, well, who can we get to replace him? So I'm reaching out to all the people in the UK that I know or close that I thought could be possible. But then I just randomly reached out to Jared and was like, hey, I do these events. Would you be willing to have a conversation about possibly participating? And he said yes. And so we had a conversation, and I really didn't even know if I was going to be able to fly him out. It's really expensive. But he was just so eager about the idea of it and had so many ideas that I thought, okay, I got to figure a way. So I brought Jared on, and then from there it was sort of like, well, let's just build it up. And, Jared suggested some people, and so that's how we got Nemo the Mormon. And I'm still in talks with some people at Speak Life to maybe join the live estuary at the end, and they have an event at the same weekend. And so maybe there's some, I want to talk to them and see if maybe there's some way we can kind of cross promote or partner to not create too much division and interest. So anyways, tickets are available. There's like full festival tickets for all 3 days. There's 2 festival tickets. And then there is, a couple single event tickets. Good question. Alex O'Connor. I've emailed the dude several times. He's responded a couple times, not been interested. I did send him an email saying if he wanted to attend, I would give him a free ticket. I don't know if he's going to see it, but I'll probably, let people know.
Cassidy, send him 2 free tickets anyway to give to his friends, even if he doesn't want to go.
There you go.
What does breakwater mean? Is it like where the waves crash into this? What is the actual term? Because we know estuary is.
Yeah.
What's breakwater in relation to that as a word?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So it's all on the website. So if you want more like polished information, you can kind of look at that. But basically, a breakwater is a man-made structure that goes into bodies of water that help protect shores from like incoming currents and waves, and it creates safer harbors for marine travel or sort of the life on the shores.
So it's human intervention that protects the shore.
Exactly. And so for us, what we want breakwater to be is that sort of structure that helps estuary be more stable and creates more stability for people trying to create in this weird middle ground that we find ourselves in. I have a lot of ideas. I have no idea what is possible. Like, I'm a mother of 2 under 3.
Right.
And I'm ambitious to a fault. And I've paid the price for that in a lot of ways, but,
and you should pay the price to attend Breakwater. The third weekend of June.
Make my mental breakdowns worth it.
I have an important message in that same vein, just really quickly. If you, dear viewers, would like to see everyone on this call get to meet up in London together, I'm sure that Grim could put together a Ko-Fi to make that happen. Anyway, go ahead, Cassidy.
I would love it. Hey, listen, if you guys, here's what I'll do. If you guys can get over here, you have free tickets. How about that? You get over here, I'll give you admission.
If you can get to London the third week of June, we know somebody.
Yeah, and that was a good question. Why London? I forgot. Well, one part is I wanted to the whole idea when we started, me, Matthias, and David, when we kind of thought about Breakwater after the Bridges of Meaning Festival, it was like, okay, let's do 2 years in Germany, 2 years in the Netherlands, and then 2 years in London. And then from there, kind of see where we go so that we could kind of help these different parts of Europe support estuary. That obviously did not happen, but my thought was, okay, if it's one last one, then let's do London, because we've done some exchanges, but we haven't done a festival there. But the plan was always to try to do London so that we could coincide with ARC, so that we could maybe get Jonathan Peugeot. But we already had these contracts. I had Nathan Jacobs. It was like, first of all, I can't afford Peugeot. I just know that. I haven't actually ever reached out to him for his like pricing, but I have a sense that I cannot afford Peugeot. And like I couldn't
afford anyone who needs to be afforded.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say Peugeot is a jerk. He's French Canadian. What more needs to be said?
Sorry, Cassie. Sorry. Go ahead.
Today I learned that if I have to deal with fancy people, I know somebody who knows how. And
but anyway, so that was sort of like why we did that. So we still kind of went and tried to kind of figure out, oh, hey, let's do it in coinciding with ARC, because maybe there is some ways that we could meet other people who are going to be in there. And fun fact,
they did last year, there'll be people that want to see other things.
Yeah, but I actually got a ticket to ARC, so I'm still working on some things, but I might actually attend. So
if you do, please do me the favor. This is like their third round or whatever. They should now be able to tell me what a responsible citizen is and list that responsible citizen's civic duties in a fashion I can adhere to as a responsible citizen.
You know, if I get in front of anybody important, I'll sure try to ask that question.
Just say, what exactly is a responsible citizen? Because our people need to know if they qualify.
Yeah, this is probably why I will never go to an art conference, because if you're starting with a responsible citizen versus a person, screw your conference. You're so narrow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't quite know what ARC is, and so I'm interested to go to kind of get a sense of it because I've seen it secondhand. But for me, it was never worth it to pay the ticket to go because there's something interesting about being in that room potentially with all of these people who are trying to do similar things that I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. But I had this sort of mentality of like, well, to be in the right room at the wrong time is almost worse than ever getting in the right room at all. So I knew that I wasn't going to go to ARC until it felt like the right time. So it feels like the right time now. And so I'm going to try to make it work.
I think that's what they're trying to be. Like, we're the right room.
Well, I don't know what they're trying to be. I mean, I'm just interested. I'm just interested to learn from people who are doing things that are similar or adjacent to what I'm trying to do. Like, even if I don't fully agree with it, there's a lot of people who are far more successful at doing these things than I have ever been that I can learn from. And so I just want to, I don't know, I just want to learn. So
that's an interesting thing I want to ask you about, or just prompt for the conversation. And then I'm probably going to be wrapping up soon, is like, one of the things I like about the TLC a ton and the flotilla, and that Paul is our not leader, is it's like the most punk rock anarchist shit in the world. There's no way you could take control of this thing and tell everybody else what to do. And even like big conferences, like Midwestuary, big conferences, I would never do that. Like, I would never organize that. But I love the fact that you're doing it. I love the fact that Sam is doing it, because that's not the thing I want to do. I want to go in a room with because I love all these people that Zach is talking about, like Rollins, and I want to have the non-conference conference. I want to have the conference that has no speakers, no stage, that we're just like hanging out and eating dinner together. A lot of wasted time.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We had the Van Osses over for dinner the other day, Lucas and Outon and his wife, and I was talking about Estuary as sort of a movement, and I kind of see Estuary as like AA for meaning crisis. So you come to this group with whatever concept of God that you have, and you wrestle honestly with these questions. And so to have something like that sustainable, you need a large group of people who are interested in just attending and coming and being around things. And then you need a smaller group of very passionate people who are willing to lead on the local level and organize messy, complicated relationships that come with that kind of group. And then the third kind of people you need is sort of this even smaller group of people who are wanting to take it to a higher level on sort of a more professional organizational level. And I think just with the skill sets that I've gained from a career of like video, entertainment, event management, I have a skill set to be here. I have no idea if it's actually possible to get there with where I am, at least in the short term, but I'm willing to like give it a shot. But at the end of the day, if I end up here and I'm just hanging out with the Van Osses and we're running Estuary in our local communities, I'm fine. I'll disappear. I'll hang out with my little kids and feel safe. And in some ways, like, I kind of hope that happens because there's a lot of fear that I have with the temperature of things and the safety of things, of having these conversations. And I mean, like a lot of, the history of Bridges of Meaning that came, that took a toll on me that I don't talk about quite often. And that, it was very difficult, but it also showed me the importance of this and the importance of having some sort of organization that can come in and let the punk anarchists be punk anarchists, but create a little bit of space so that we're not hurting each other in this process. Like, we need some protections because, it's not safe what we're doing. Like, I think it's very clear this is not a safe space. I like what Hezi says. It's a brave space.
Yeah, brave space. All right, let's go around. Let's do final words. This is good. This has been a good promotion. I like everything that's happened. Let's keep it short and sweet.
I'll just say thanks for letting me do that. I've been trying to connect with other people around who'd be willing to let me talk about the festival. So if you're hearing this and you want to learn more or just talk about anything, and then I can kind of promote the festival, you can reach out through the website. You can reach out through Discord. You can reach out to Luke for my email. Like, I'm pretty sure you have my email, but I want the event to succeed. And I think we've got a killer lineup, and I think they're going to bring some really cool stuff. So those are my final words.
Sweet. Thanks, Cassidy. I don't want you to leave, but this is my new protocol. So I'm going to go like this. Okay.